Today, we're diving into a crucial topic that concerns not only our health, but also the sustainability of our oceans. Fish you should never eat. While seafood is a popular choice for many, not all fish are created equal when it comes to sustainability and health. So let's explore the reasons behind avoiding certain types of fish and the impact it has on our health and the environment. Number 1. Tilapia. It may surprise you to learn that consuming tilapia has certain drawbacks compared to bacon. In fact, a 2008 study published in the Journal of the American Dietetic Association found that eating more farmed fish, such as tilapia, is causing diets to become extremely inflammatory. According to experts at Wake Forest University School of Medicine, tilapia is among the most popular fish eaten in the United States. What's wrong with that? It has extremely high quantities of inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids, and maybe worse, very low levels of healthy omega-3 fatty acids. Maintaining elevated inflammatory levels in the body may be associated with long-term ailments like diabetes, cancer, and heart disease, as well as exacerbate autoimmune disease symptoms. If you must eat this fish, stay away from Chinese tilapia because of its particularly questionable growing methods. The United States, Canada, the Netherlands, Ecuador, and Peru are better sources. Number 2. Atlantic cod. Although the species has a long history of being essential to the New World civilization and the initial colonization of the Caribbean Sea, the effects of intensive fishing over the past millennium have been felt by the Atlantic cod. A disaster hit in the late 1990s. The fishery collapsed. Only a small percentage of the more than 100 million eggs released by the female cod managed to mature into adults. Scientists concur, according to Oceana, that the collapse of the Atlantic cod has radically altered the North Atlantic food webs, and the species is now at risk of going extinct. Make sure the cod liver oil you enjoy isn't made from Atlantic fish if you enjoy it. Number 3. Atlantic flatfish. These flatfish species have earned a spot on the list of fish you should never eat because of past overfishing and high contamination levels. The greatest ocean conservation organization in the world, Oceana, used information from the National Marine Fisheries Service to carry out an investigation in 2014. Based on wasted bycatch, it determined the 9 worst fisheries in the United States. The researchers discovered that annually, commercial fishermen in the United States discard over 2 billion pounds of bycatch over the edge. That is roughly the equal of 500 billion fish lunches. One of the worst gillnet fisheries in the world is the halibut targeting one in California. Number 4. Caviar. Ancient species called beluga sturgeon are prized for their fish eggs, often known as caviar. Actually, this fish can reach a size of several hundred pounds, live to be 100 years old, and carry several hundred pounds of caviar, which can fetch up to $3,500 per pound. Oceana claims that the species that yields this highly sought-after caviar is seriously endangered. It has entirely disappeared from a number of the rivers and seas where it once resided, and scientists believe that it is in grave danger. Stated differently, it is extremely susceptible to extinction throughout its whole range. We might lose one of the largest and most fascinating fish species in the world forever if current conservation measures are not maintained and expanded upon. If you just can't live without caviar, Seafood Watch suggests the more sustainable alternative. Number 5. Eel. In their sushi guide, Monterey Bay Aquarium's Seafood Watch lists eel as something to avoid due to its sluggish maturity and history of overfishing, which has led to the collapse of some populations. As a result, even Asian nations are turning to American eels, whose populations in the United States are also under danger. That's problematic as eels play a critical role in safeguarding our water supply. For example, eels play a key role in the spread of mussel populations in the Delaware River, which act as natural water filters. In addition to the problems associated with overfishing, eels have a propensity to easily absorb and retain dangerous substances, including flame retardants and polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs. River eels are so filthy in some regions, such as New Jersey. Number 6. Farm salmon. Salmon is widely consumed in America. Regretfully, most of them are the worst kind. The majority of salmon that is sold as Atlantic salmon is actually farmed, which means that the fish are raised in environments that are frequently tainted with bacteria, parasites, excrement, and pesticides. Furthermore, research indicates that farmed salmon has a higher likelihood of containing dangerous chemicals like PCBs, which have been connected to obesity, cancer, insulin resistance, and stroke. They also typically have greater levels of inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids and are frequently treated with antibiotics. Choose wild-caught Alaskan salmon over Atlantic salmon for a superior substitute. Number 7. Atlantic bluefin tuna. Even though Atlantic bluefin tuna is a very sought-after ingredient for sushi, it's ideal to decline this well-liked fish. Often found on sushi menus as han maguro, this is essentially bluefin tuna, which is something you should never eat. Katsu/skipjack tuna, obtained exclusively via Pacific troll or pole and line techniques, makes for a superior sushi option. For several reasons, you should never consume the fish that is home to Atlantic bluefin tuna. First, overfishing has driven it almost completely extinct. However, fishery officials continue to let commercial fishing to target it because of the huge demand for sushi. Sadly, the population of bluefin tuna has dropped to just 2.6% of what it once was. Number 8. Imported catfish. In the event that you are looking for anything else, be aware that imported fish are very infrequently examined for dirt, which includes rat and human hair as well as insects, according to Kufon. In Vietnam, where the use of antibiotics that are prohibited in the United States is common, almost 90% of the catfish imported into the country originates. Imported shrimp are also problematic due to antibiotic usage. Moreover, the federal government does not formally classify the two Vietnamese catfish kinds supplied in the United States, Sway and Bassa, as fish. Thus, they are not subject to the same inspection regulations as other imported catfish. Stay with farm-raised domestic catfish. It's one of the best fish you can eat because it's abundant and responsibly farmed. Alternatively, you may try Asian carp, an invasive species that tastes like catfish and is outcompeting wild catfish, putting the Great Lakes ecosystem in jeopardy. Number 9. Sharks, skate, and rays. Kufon claims that issues resulting from our overindulgence in shark meat arise at every stage of the food chain. To start with, the high concentration of mercury in these predatory fish is harmful to human health. Ocean ecosystems, however, also suffer. With fewer sharks around, the species they eat, like cow-nose rays and jellyfish, have increased in numbers, explains Kufon. And these are eating and depleting scallops and other fish. This puts pressure on coastal communities that rely on those fisheries for their economic survival because it means there are less of those fish for us to eat.
Furthermore, because they mature later in life and have lengthy lifespans, sharks, skates, and rays do not procreate until they are older. Conclusion: being mindful of the fish we consume is essential for both our health and the health of our planet. By avoiding fish with high mercury levels, overfished species, and those caught using harmful methods, we can make a positive impact on marine ecosystems. Opting for sustainable alternatives and supporting responsible fishing practices are steps towards a healthier and more sustainable future. Let's remember that every choice we make has an impact, and together, we can make a difference for the oceans and future generations. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.